What's up, movie TV Schmoedown fans? Me again. I'm back, catching up on the Season 8 Schmoedown matches that I've missed out all season, leading up to Season 9. This one is between Deception and Chaos Theory. Clearly, I'm still a Corruption fan, so, and I'm also a very huge Marisol fan. I'm so happy that she's the first female champion this season, and got to actually stay the champion to the end of the season. I'm really happy for that. But, yeah, Chaos Theory, nothing against the Stars. I actually love the Stars. It's just, they're playing two champions at this point, so there really isn't that much of a hope for those two guys. But who knows? I would like to point out, though, that unlike most of the matches that I still haven't watched yet, and the matches I still need to catch up on, I do not know the outcome of this. I do not know who wins and who loses this match. So, yeah, for all I know, Deception could win. For all I know, Chaos Theory could win. I think, yeah, I have no idea who wins this, so, should be fun and interesting. Obviously, clearly, I'm not going to win because I'm not very good at answering questions when it's the more general movie trivia stuff. But, yeah, we'll see. Anyways, I think I've been talking for long enough. Let's watch the stupid match already. Here we go! And I'm not saying that these matches are stupid, I couldn't think of a good enough way to end the intro. I need to make this intro shorter. I've been saying that for a while.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. It is the teams tournament, and this is a spicy one. We have the team of Chaos Theory, Nick Harley, Jacoby Bancroft from the Stars, and this is a rookie hotshot team. They are 1-0, and I remember a rookie hotshot team last year, the team of Deception, the former champion Adam Collins, and the current Movie Trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, Marisol McKee. Mark Ellis, what a match.
Good to see you, sir. Yeah, Deception, they're going to keep the name, but they ain't fooling anyone anymore, not with all of the champions and belts and history and future that they have individually promised to the fans here in the Schmoedown, but they also team up occasionally, Christian, and when they do, usually the other team is felled. But Chaos Theory comes in with a certain moxie, a certain peskiness that they just will not go away. They won a nail-biter in their first time out, and so they're looking to break some brackets here in this tournament, and I think they have the potential to take on any team in the league.
I'll tell you, Nick Harley's career is starting to remind me of Chance Ellison's in a little bit, where he comes in and he is playing in these big matches. He has not had an easy road. His match against Paul Oyama, former champion, now they won their first match in teams, but now right away, now he's got not only a former champion, Adam Collins, he has the current Movie Trivia Schmoedown champion in Marisol McKee. Jacoby Bancroft, playing really, really well this season, has just been on the bad side of luck, but that much. I mean, look what he just did recently against the Kid at the Cantina. He was that close at Scum and Villainy Cantina from edging out that victory. So can it happen today? It would be a big upset. We've seen some big upsets in other tournaments so far. Can it happen today, Mark, with Chaos Theory?
They're knocking on the door, certainly, in both individual and teams competition. But again, you go back to Deception, and I know it's only year two, but they play like seasoned veterans, and their chemistry seems to improve with every match that Deception plays together. Will we continue to see them matriculate and get to know each other more and more? Because Harley and Bancroft, like you said, Christian, they already have a pretty good rapport. And so as far as chemistry goes, it might be a dead even heat. It's going to come down to who gets that wheel spin, or sometimes it's just going to be a matter of Deception. They've been in pressure moments before, certainly more so than Chaos Theory. Is that going to be the deciding factor? There's a whole lot to chew on in this match, and for a look as to how we got here, enjoy.
How could a manager be happier? What more can I ask for? Both perfect round ones, doing a great job in round two.
What a game. And the best thing about this is their debut. You can only go up from here. Literally, you can only go up from here. And what a great place to start.
I always want to take down the bullies. So Shannon or Tom, I hope they eat dirt. Thanks for asking.
guys expecting here today? I don't know why you even jumped in here with me. This is the Shannon and Corruption Hour. You're a guest right now.
That poor girl has been through more teams than she has YouTube tutorial videos on how to lose. Maybe start learning how to coach your players to a win.
Greetings, my fellow ghouls, goblins, and graboids. It's that spooky time of year again, tournament season. Deception has returned, and while we feel confident in our prospects, recent losses required that we examine the game from another angle, specifically while riding ATVs and shouting questions at each other over the engines.
Well, at least it's not wearing a blindfold for that one.
Perhaps effective, purportedly, kick-ass, indubitably.
As far as we're concerned, we're starting from square one. So it would be great to go on a run in the team's tournament and finally build up our record. This is Deception's last stand for the year, so we're going to be bringing it. You can bet.
I put a lot into this. Adam does too, and Shannon does as well. And we want to win. That's what we're here to do. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we should play with matching blindfolds. What do you think, Coyote?
Okay, what up, Schmoedown? Huge match today. Round 1 of the team's tournament. And again, I decided to try to, copy my opponent's style in order to get in their mindset a little bit. I mean, and this always seems to work out for our singles champ, Marisol, so I thought, and I've written down some very intelligent, very well thought out, very elegant insults to hurdle their way, and I'm just going to read them. Shoot.
I've spoken a lot about how I've changed since I've joined the Stars, but if Chaos Theory is going to get past Deception, then Jacoby and I are really going to need to sync up perfectly. We're really going to have to get on each other's wavelengths.
We finally come together and are going to rock this match. We are going to play our hearts out, and you know what? Maybe cause just a little bit of chaos.
Drastic times call for drastic measures. Hope this works.
Deception is the reason you're seeing teams like Chaos Theory and King Arthur this year. And while we love being trendsetters, we don't suffer the wills of jesters easily. And now that we've both held gold, we're even hungrier for those team's belts. Correction. We're ravenous.
Adam, Marisol, don't look past us. We just might surprise you, and we demand to be taken seriously. All right. Okay, I'll turn the camera off.
Look, there's so much here. Chaos Theory, as you said earlier, Mark, they don't have anything to lose here. This is they're 1-0. They're the underdog. Deception, call it what it is. They no one even thought they were going to be in this tournament. Everybody thought it would be Mike and Chance, and Shannon and Mike and Chance had a conversation. If you think about it, it makes more sense for Corruption not to be in this tournament. They're only about one or maybe one match away from getting to another number one contender match. They put a lot on the line in order to be in that tournament. It made a lot of sense not to put them in there. But it's all the pressure is on Deception. But do you know who's okay with pressure? Marisol McKee. Look what she just did with all the pressure in the world, and not just one, definitively beat Ethan Irwin. So the high of that, is it going to help? Is she more focused on Chance Ellison? What is going to happen? How's it going to play out? We're about to find out in a moment here.
This is what you pay the money for. Actually, I think you're getting this one for free, kids. This is going to be a great match. This is the team's tournament, and I got to be doing stand-up at New York Comedy Club in about 3 hours. And so our tickets available. That's your job. My job is to call a great match, and I think we got one here for you. Christian, at your ready, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia Schmoedown. Introducing first. Representing the Stars with a record of one win, no defeats. The Deal Breaker, Jacoby, Bancroft, Slick, Nick, Harley, Chaos Theory. Chaos Theory has arrived. Gentlemen, let me ask you this question here. We know that the big New York event in Brooklyn, Marisol McKee defending that championship against Chance. Do you guys hope that her head is on that match and it's going to make it easier going into this one? Let's start with you, Nick.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if she'd be foolish not to be thinking about Chance Ellison in the match that she has coming up for the singles title. So maybe we'll catch her sleeping a little bit here.
Yeah. This is nothing to her. It's just a lonely round 1 teams tournament. It's like it's not super important to her at all. She's focused on Chance, and then so this is good. She can just sit back, relax a little bit, and we can do our thing.
Some might even say it's more beneficial if Marisol were to just get out of the teams tournament, focus solely on single.
So you might be doing the team and particularly Marisol a favor by defeating them early. I see where the strategy's coming from. The live event is actually Saturday night, not tomorrow night. But for right now, you gentlemen, look, it is a tall task. Do you talk about what maybe one day will be like Deception? Will each have had a belt or be currently owning a belt? What is the conversation like between you two, and how far do you really think this team can go?
Oh, absolutely. Nick and I discuss every single day how eventually down the line, we're both going to be co-singles champions and also the team's champions, and then maybe split the Intergeekdom champion at some point. So that's all in the works.
Yeah, and I already won a championship once, but I never got to actually hold it. So I'm looking to get my hands on one here real soon.
That's fair. And also you got the former champion who knows a lot about winning tournaments in Adam Collins. Mark was correct. The event being on Saturday night. Tomorrow, Adam Collins plays the Kid in a match. So his head could be in the tournament. You guys both played very good in the singles tournament. Didn't go your way, but now because you are focused, is it more of an advantage, as you guys were saying before about Marisol, that they're both still in the tournament? Jokes aside, that you're hoping, is it fearful at all because they are in the singles and their heads might be thinking about this, or is it because there's just so much happening that it could be for you guys?
I don't think it's no fear. It's excitement. This is an exciting time to be where we're at right now. And yes, we would love to hope that they're kind of focused on singles, but we won't look past them because anybody who has ever looked past Deception always ends up losing. That's what happens. It never works out well. So we're not going to make that mistake.
Yeah, all jokes aside, we know these two are locked in and we're ready to meet the challenge.
All right, Nick, have you spoken as the Flirtenflaus recently?
We're always texting now and then. He wants to get me out to one of his shows out in Germany, so we'll see if I can squeeze that in after Brooklyn, but who knows?
And their opponents representing Corruption with a record of 2 wins, 3 defeats, and 1 knockout. They are the team of the former movie trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, the Coyote, Adam Collins, and the reigning undisputed movie trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, Lady Justice Marisol McKee. This is Deception. The reigning champ, the former champ, Marisol McKee. That is the first time since winning the championship you have been introduced as champion. In just 2 days, you will be defending that championship against Chance Ellison. Same question I had for your opponents. Are you thinking more of Chance, more on Chaos Theory? How do you mix the both?
It's all the same game, Christian. And I thought I told you that the lady really does not like razzle dazzle, and I was hearing a lot of leading in these earlier discussions. And I'm not distracted by anything. My attention is not pulled in different directions. It's all the same game.
All right. Totally. And there is the Coyote, Adam Collins. Adam, same question for you, my man. You got a big match against the Kid coming up tomorrow. So I'll ask you the same thing as I asked the champ. How do you balance?
That's tomorrow. Compartmentalization is key these days. The best players need it. That's what we have in spades in Corruption. And that's why you have so many multi-divisional threats in our faction. Look, we're really excited to be playing Blackjack again. They look a little bit different this time around, but the thing is, they got a flashy new name. They rebranded a little bit, but this looks like very familiar territory. Yeah, that's quite a haircut.
Okay. I gotta ask you, Coyote. Look, I know that you and Marisol compete tremendously well together, but now she's got the belt that you had, and we saw firsthand how well you treated the belt when it was in your care. So is there a little bit of belt envy in Deception, in Corruption? Just a little tiny bit?
I mean, as long as the belt is in Corruption.
Hands. And right now I have a job to do in the singles tournament. And if I go all the way again, which is my plan, the lady here and I will have some business to contend with in December, possibly. But that's a ways off. And right now, we're focused on the task at hand.
Moreover, when one member of Corruption wins, all members of Corruption wins. So
it's a full week of Corruption this week. I'm sure Shannon Barney not too sad about that. But as I have been informed in my little earpiece, should also be brought up that the Stars did win the team's tournament last year, with the Odd Couple taking the tournament. So different team, same manager, same experience. Does that go into any consideration going into this tournament? Start with Lady Justice.
Are you asking me if I'm threatened by a new team just because the same manager is there? Have you seen the manager?
Oh.
No, I'm not.
Shots fired, shots taken, and let's start the match.
Here's the rules of round number one. It is the team format, but round number one is an individual exercise of movie trivia know-how. Each question is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round one. And once again, we ask a question. You yourself have to write down your best attempt at an answer within the 15-second time limit. You may not rely on the strength of your teammate to get a correct answer in round number one. I'll remind each team that you have 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. You're not sure you heard a question right. You just want to buy yourself another 15 seconds for practical or dramatic purposes. Use your repeat. You also each, as a team, have 1 challenge. You may utilize it at any point throughout the 3-round match. We'll bring in managers, delineate to our heart's content, and it will ultimately be your manager that confirms and ratifies if said challenge is taking place. Christian, I see focus, I see locked, I see loaded, and I think you got a question for everyone.
We start with the champion. Are you ready?
Court's in session.
We start with the former champion. Are you ready?
What she said.
Mr. Harley, are you ready?
To rumble.
Mr. Bancroft, are you ready?
He's a former FCL champion as
true.
well, so
That's true.
that deserves some recognition, and I'm also here.
Yes, he is. If that is the case, then let's get ready to Schmoedown. Round number one. Question number one. We're going to start with action adventure. Keanu Reeves stars opposite Lawrence Fishburne and Peter Stormare in which action thriller?
We are off and running. Autumn in New York. Christian, is there anything better?
No, I can't wait. And then we're gonna be on stage, Mark, tonight and tomorrow night in Brooklyn. 5, 4, 3,
It's actually
2,
Village.
1. Sorry, Brooklyn is Saturday. And now I only have 5-second count. We start with Marisol McCabe.
John Wick Chapter
John Wick
Yes.
2?
Nick.
I mean,
John Wick 2.
does 2 count?
Mr. Collins.
John Wick Chapter 2.
And
I
Mr.
didn't think
Bancroft.
Chapter 2.
John
but-
Wick 2.
Everybody gets it.
I
Next
suppose
question.
it counts.
Your next question is in the category of famous actors and actresses. They are heralded to much acclaim, and here's the question for a point. Which actor appeared in the 1990s films To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, Awakenings, and Being Human? Good early, toughy fastball down the middle.
Yeah, by the way, that is...
Writers have been doing
That
the
is just
second
one
half
movie.
of this season, really
To Wong
challenging
Fu,
all the competitors.
Thanks for everything,
during
Julie
tournament
Newmar. That is
season.
one
5,
movie with an
4,
incredibly long title.
3,
I happen to know that.
2,
I'm not sure.
1. Pens down,
Who's
hands up,
in it,
please. Nick.
Robin Williams.
Yes. Collins.
John Leguizamo.
Correct. Bancroft.
I said Wesley Snipes.
And Marisol.
Patrick Swayze.
So only Nick gets that one.
Yeah!
So Nick is the only one to get it right. So right now it is 3-2. Question 3, here it is.
No perfect
Comic
rounds
book
for all
movies.
these guys, except
In which DC film does Batman say, "I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
That's the same thing you told me when I first met you at that fateful barbecue. Nick Harley doing a little miniature Mark Andreyko impression from a free-for-all past right there.
It was a good move from the stars. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Pretty sure
1.
that's right.
Pens down. Adam, we start with you.
Is it
Batman
Batman 1989?
Yes. Jacoby.
Batman 89.
Marisol.
Batman Begins.
Incorrect. And Nick.
See, that's
Batman vs.
I was
Superman.
considering
All
that
right, so.
one, but I'm
No perfect rounds then, because
glad
both Marisol
that I stuck
and
to my guns and went with Batman.
Nick got that one wrong.
1989.
And now we get to the next question.
We don't demand
Let's see what
perfection,
Nick
just
answered.
progress. And your next question is in the category of black cinema. And the question, Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, and Richard Pryor star in this film adaptation of a Broadway hit. You know, Christian, we could ask thousands of questions, and you may not get the star power of those three names I just mentioned.
No way. No chance. Not going to happen. 5, 4,
They're all goats.
3,
Yeah, that's
2,
true.
1.
Very
Hands
true.
down. Hands up, please. And we start with Jacoby.
The Wiz?
Yes. Marisol.
Louise.
Yes. Nick.
Luis.
The Wiz.
And Adam.
The Wiz.
If ever a Wiz there
Look at
was,
that.
the Wizard of Oz is
that.
one because.
So right now,
because-
the score is 6-5. Chaos Theory up by 1. As we get to our next question, is family films. How many films in the Home Alone franchise were released during the 1990s?
Really selling it there.
That's a
You like that?
question.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Well, you
very
know,
good
got this big
question.
thing in the New York Comedy Club. We got to try to emphasize the performance.
Which again, in the East Village, not Brooklyn.
5. No, 4. The other show's there. 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. We start with Marisol.
3.
Yes.
I said 2.
Nick.
Okay.
3.
Yes. Adam.
3.
And Jacoby.
See, I thought that was
Okay,
red
so
herring.
deception ties it up.
Clearly,
Now it's 7-7.
Jacoby
Going
was
into
on the
the
same
next
mind
question. It's question number
frame as
6.
I was.
Time to lighten the mood with some comedies.
You old scamp.
Ah.
All right, your question. What 1990s comedy has the tagline, New Animals, New Adventures, Same Hair?
Sounds like my prom.
You feel like a guy that wore a backwards hat to his prom. True?
False. I didn't want to mess with my hair when I had it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. Hands up, please. We start here with Nick.
Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Yes, sir. Adam Collins.
Did not have this one.
Jacoby.
Hey, same, Adam.
And Marisol.
Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
So
Marisol
obvious.
gets
I
it.
went
So
with
we
Dr.
stay
Dolittle.
tied. 8-8. What a
Dang
scrap it is here. Deception and Chaos Theory already as we get to question 7. Oscars. Let me ask you a question. Which film composer received nominations for his scores to the films Good Will Hunting, Milk, and in Black?
We got 4 great competitors here, Christian, but only one made the journey to see me in Las Vegas, and that was Jacoby. Nick Harley declined the invite.
Well, can you blame him? 5, 4,
He was hilarious.
3,
Hey,
2,
I'll see you tomorrow night.
1. Pens down, hands up, please. Stop writing. Pens down, hands up. And we start with... Who the hell do we start with? Oh, Adam Collins.
Is it Danny Elfman?
Yes. Jacoby.
Danny Elfman.
Yes.
I know
Marisol.
that because I
Danny
lost
Elfman.
the question.
And Nick.
I missed
Did
the
not have
question.
All right, so Deception takes the lead now. It's 10-9. And what a battle this has been so far as we get to our last question in round number 1, Mark.
Great
Give them to
match
question
so
8
far.
to seize the lead. They now have it by a point, and your final category is Westerns. And here we go. Who plays the fearsome outlaw Clinch Leatherwood in the Western comedy A Million Ways to Die in the West, which Christian loved.
Did not. That's false.
Yeah.
That's a big false.
Big fan of that.
Christian loves
There was
that.
one
Doesn't
scene
he?
that I thought
No,
was
no,
funny.
no, he does not.
I couldn't even remember what it was. 5, 4, 3.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, first one.
Certainly, your category is Westerns, and the question, Who plays the fearsome outlaw Clinch Leatherwood in the Western comedy A Million Ways to
so
Die
many
in the
opportunities
West?
to watch that movie, but I declined every single one of them.
Still have never seen this.
What? You never saw this movie?
No.
Weren't you with me when I saw it?
No, I was not.
Oh, 5.
He was with you when he
4.
wasn't
And
with
Mr.
you.
Anniversary.
He was there when he wasn't
2. I don't care. 1. Pens down. Hands up, please. And we start with Nick.
Liam Neeson.
Yes, I meant Jacoby, but I messed that up. So deception. Adam Collins.
I was thinking of Ted, Giovanni Ribisi.
Incorrect. Jacoby.
Liam Neeson.
Yes, and Marisol.
The Liam Neeson's.
So Marisol gets right. Adam Collins misses, but it is now a tie game. 11-11. Back and forth they go. What a battle it was. Marisol missed a couple up top, but then finished strong. Adam started pretty strong, finished a little slow. And Nick Harley, same thing with him. And Jacoby, they all went back and forth. It was 11-11 at the end of round 1. Unbelievable round here, Mark. Now we get to round 2.
That's right. Round number 2, we got a tied ball game, which either means we just wasted the last 20 minutes of all of our lives, or we got a really good contest going here. I'm of the latter opinion. And in round number 2, it's the opinion of the wheel that matters. It's the virtual wheel that each team will be giving a spin. Once you settle on a category from said virtual wheel, 6 questions will emerge. Each question's worth 2 points. There's no penalty for missing a question. However, stealing is available in round number 2. So if you're not sure of the answer, you can ask us for multiple choice. We're congenial fellows. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question recedes to 1. Keep in mind, competitors, we do need to see hands at all times.
All right, so we ask Deception here, even though it's tied game. Deception's a higher
it's
ranked
a work
team.
thing, but
would you guys
I'm not
like to go first or
pause the
second?
video while I'm
How you feeling, champ?
dealing with this stuff?
I feel like leading the charge here, Coyote. Let's go first.
Let's roll.
Leading the charge. I like it. You guys, that was a hell of a round 1. It was tough for everyone, so it's time to shake it off because round 2 is where you guys come together and shine. We know this. We know everything that we've been practicing. We knew our weaknesses. We filled those gaps. You know what you need to do, but I don't want the pressure of that to even be a second thought in your head. So you know what to do. Get rid of it. Let it go. We're going into the second round. We got our pick of the litter here. So tune in with each other. Trust your freaking guts. All right? You guys know how to play smart. You know how to play efficient, and that's what I want to see.
You got it, Queen.
Ready for it.
I don't get to spin it this time.
You did.
I really want to spin it.
All right, let's get a good
Here
spin.
is the spin.
Damn, that was a good spin. I don't know if that was Marisol or Collins, but that was a
Looking at
mighty.
60 seconds for Disney.
Well, these movies have been around most of our lives.
I love the
It's
Disney-ness.
pretty broad, and we know it's a combination of animated and live action. So it's kind of a grab bag.
I like Disney. I do love Disney movies, but I think looking at this wheel, we could do just a little better.
Yeah, if we end up with it, we'll go for it. But let's see what else we got.
Perfect. All right, let's go to the next spin. Here we go. Here it is.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Good spin, baby.
Hell yeah.
All right, what's it going to settle on here? They spun away from Disney and they settle.
YA adaptations. All
All
right.
right, you guys take your time. Check to multiple if you need it.
All right, so Deception is here. They're going to get 6 questions. Realm of YA adaptions. The actors, Peter Fasinelli, Elizabeth Reeser, Reaser, and Michael Sheen appear in what YA franchise?
The Twilight franchise, Adam.
It is indeed the Twilight franchise.
Twilight, final answer.
It is correct.
And that is question number 1 of round 2. Here comes number 2.
Which Hunger Games film begins with Katniss, Beetee, and Finnick Odair being taken to a below-ground district named District 13 that has been spearheading the rebellion?
That's Mockingjay Part 1, Adam.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was 1 or 2, so let's go.
Yeah,
with
me
part
neither.
one.
It was
The
one of
Hunger
the
Games,
Mockingjays.
Mockingjay Part 1. Final answer.
That is correct. All right.
Okay.
Question 3. In 1983's The Outsiders, what term do the 2 gangs use to refer to the big planned fight that they get into with each other?
I have an idea. I would want multiple to be clearer.
Let's go to multiple choice, please.
All right, multiple choice. Is it A, tussle, B, shakedown, C, thrash, D, rumble?
Rumble was my first instinct. Do you want to repeat the options?
Yeah, I'm thinking
Five.
Rumble is jumping out to me too.
Four.
Can we get a free repeat of the options, please?
Yes. Is it A, tussle, B, shakedown, C, thrash, D, rumble?
Don't want to confuse it with Rumble Fish.
Yeah.
Let's follow our instincts. Coyote, let's go with D, Rumble.
Final answer.
That's correct for 1 point.
Good
All right.
use of multiple choice there. Never call it a tussle. If you're in the Outsiders world, do not call it a tussle. It's not going to go well.
That was question 3. Question 4. How many films were released theatrically in the Divergent series?
3.
It's 3, Marisol.
3. Yeah.
Tragically, we would have loved to see more.
As John
Yeah, me
Schnepp
too.
did,
I actually
three
like those
would say there are
movies.
3 detergent
Sue me.
movies, but yeah. 3
I actually
detergent.
like the Divergent movies. Second
Fine.
one not
3
so
final
much,
answer.
but there's good
That is
movies.
correct.
Well,
All right, so that was question
I
number
enjoyed it,
4.
let's
Here's
say
question
that.
5. What 2019 film stars Yara Shahidi as a teenager who falls in love while facing deportation?
The sun is also a star, Adam.
Thank you for that. That's all you, Lady Justice.
The
Well
sun
done.
is also a star. Final answer.
Yes, ma'am. 2 more points.
It's factually accurate, too.
All right, here it is. Last one. Haley Lou Richardson and Cole Sprouse star together in what recent YA film?
5 feet apart, Marisol.
That's it.
5 feet apart. Final answer.
2 more points. Hell of a round by deception. 20-11, up by 10, going into the Chaos Theory spin. All right, so we're going to remove you guys and we're going to bring back the stars.
Listening carefully right now. Nick, in this past, you guys are both doing incredible. Nick, in this past round, I know that you were listening to Mark and Christian's jokes, and sometimes that would take you longer to write. Tune them out. They're not here. They do not exist. You guys need to do everything you have to do to pay attention to each other. Jacoby, no blank boards. That follows through when it's not just the board. That's about answering questions as well. Teamwork makes the dream work. You guys are born to do this together. We went into this round knowing that they were going to have a perfect round 1, and guess what? They didn't. Not even close. We thought they were going to have a perfect round 2, and guess what? They didn't. Not even close. They are giving us every window in order to win this, and we're going to take these windows right now. Let's spin the wheel and let's see what we do.
Roxy, we're going to have words about a certain bar story I heard, but we won't do it here. And here's the...
Our story.
Oh, no.
Oh!
Honestly,
That's
bring it on. Let's beat him anyway. Bring it on.
What a great day to not be on the receiving end of opponent's choice for once. Holla frickin' Luya. You guys, talk to each other. What do you want to do?
I was originally leaning 70s. Spike Lee and martial arts are tempting too. But 70s is about as wide as it gets on this wheel. I don't know. What do you think, Jan?
I think these are all good choices, but I think from the broadness angle, I think 70s is a good venture for broadness. So
I would agree. Let's give them 1970s and see how they do.
70s.
All right, gentlemen. So you're going to get 6 questions in the realm of 1970s.
So no Disney today,
Marcus Aurelius
unfortunately.
Johnson, please go ahead.
It is a very broad category. That's why they hire me, the broadest of the broad. Here we go, gentlemen. 6 questions, each one worth 2 points, unless you need the aid of multiple choice, which we're happy to provide. Your first question in the category of the decade of the 1970s. What was the first collaboration between director George Lucas and actor Harrison Ford?
American Graffiti.
Nick, isn't it? It's American Graffiti, isn't it?
It sure is, Jacoby.
I mean, that's...
American Graffiti. I guess we have 8 seconds. Let's think. It's not anything before.
Yeah, it would have to be his student film, I think.
American Graffiti. Final answer.
Not a lot of screen time, but he gets the most out of it. That is correct for 2 points. And Chaos Theory on the board here in round number 2. Your next question in the category of the 1970s. Who plays the male lead Oliver in the 1970 romance film Love Story?
What do you think?
Well, Love Story is the line that's the movie that says the line about never having to say you're sorry, but I'm sorry. I think we need
multiple.
Multiple
Multiple
yeah.
choice.
All right, your 4 options in multiple choice for a point. Is it A, Warren Beatty, B, Ryan O'Neal, C, Robert Redford, or D, Dustin Hoffman?
Jacoby, I'm pretty confident that it's Ryan O'Neal.
Sorry about that. Like I said, work
it's
stuff.
At least not two of those,
I
so
needed
let's
to
you
get
can say
that.
that. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ryan O'Neal, final answer.
They multiple choice their way to another point, Christian, and it is 3 points total for Chaos Theory. They still trail by 8 at the hands of Deception. Your next question, 2 points. Norman Jewison directed what 1973 rock musical based on a Broadway hit, which follows the last days of Jesus Christ?
The last day, isn't it Jesus Christ Superstar?
I believe that it is.
The last days of Norman Jewison. Yeah.
5.
Jesus Christ
Superstar.
Christ Superstar. Final answer.
Well performed by both of you. That is correct for 2 points, and they're starting to feel it here in a decade that neither one of them were alive to see these movies in the theater. Nevertheless, we progress to your next
Neither one
question.
of the judges either.
Fourth question
Just
from the
saying.
1970s. Warren Beatty stars as Joe, a player of what professional sport in the 1978 comedy fantasy Heaven Can Wait?
Football, final answer.
And he plays for the Rams, I believe. That is correct for 2 more points.
My man
And
knows
now,
sports.
all of a sudden, they know sports. They know a lot about this decade. They only trail by 4. They could possibly tie the lead if they hit these final 2 questions right off the bat with a maximum 2 points. Here is your penultimate question in the 1970s. Which actress plays Connie Corleone in The Godfather?
It's the girl in Rocky.
Shire.
What is it? Talia Shire. Yeah. Talia Shire. Final answer.
They got 2 more points, Christian. It is just a 2-point ball game right now, and they still have 1 question that could possibly pull them even with Deception as we head into round number 3.
All right. Here it is.
Your final question in round 2 in the category of the 1970s.
Stars logo superimposed on the swag
Scatman
logo. What
Carruthers
happened?
provides the voice of a cat named Scat Cat in what 1970s Disney animated film?
Excuse me?
Is it the Aristocats?
The Aristocats. Yeah, it was released in 1970. So
Yeah, 1930s film. Yeah.
Yeah. The Aristocats makes
yeah,
sense.
I think so too. The Aristocats.
Scat
Final answer.
Cat?
Is correct for 2 more points, and we have a
Oh,
tie
yeah.
ball game as we head into round 3.
Oh, that's
Well, around the
Scat
70s
Cat.
there by Chaos Theory. Tie it up
Wow.
on opponent's choice, rather.
I
So
think
there
you're
you
getting
go.
his
Look at
name
that.
Scat
Tie
Cat because
game
I
going into the third and
mostly
final round. So
watched
now
it
we're
in a
going
different
to
language,
bring
so-
in the team of Deception.
Yeah.
All right. So just
that's
so
why I didn't
Deception
get
is
that.
aware.
I
Chaos
should've
Theory
known that, but I
aced
didn't
the round.
because, like
It
I
is
said,
now a
watched it in a different
tie
language.
game, 22
That's on me,
22, going
Well
in
done, gentlemen.
the
You didn't even have to do those first 2 rounds. Man.
Exactly.
third and final round. All right, Mark, what are the rules?
Yeah, we just wasted 40 minutes of everyone's life, but still a very well-played ball game. And so now we head into round number 3 after Chaos Theory pulled a Deception and only checked a multiple choice once, acing all 6 questions in round 2. Round 3 features 3 questions total. Question value increases with each new query. 2 points, 3 points, and then 5 points. It is the team format, so here's how it works. While there is no penalty for missing a question, and there is no stealing available in round number 3, the team format means that once we ask you a question from a category, we'll give you the category first. Then we need to know which member is going to be fielding that question. The opposite member will be fielding the 3-point question. Both members must field their questions solo. You may only confer with your teammate and utilize their knowledge for the 5-point question. We do need a series of numbers to generate these questions. These numbers may range from 1 to 20. Each team's going to give us 3 numbers. It is tied, so by way of tiebreaker, we are going to go, not deal breaker, Jacoby, tiebreaker. We are going to go with Deception first. Deception, what are your 3 lucky numbers from 1 to 20?
You first, lady.
I love 14.
11.
2.
14, 11, and 2 for Deception and for Chaos Theory.
I'm gonna take the sexy numbers if you allow me, Jacoby, and I will say 4, 8, and 16.
4, 8, and 16.
Hey guys,
All right.
so
This is-
according to Roxy and her logic, they didn't play perfect in round 2 either because they actually had to check down to multiple choice once. I don't see it that way, and it doesn't matter right now because we got a tie ball game. So you two, if you looked any cooler, like I don't know what we would do. I don't want to even tell you to relax because you guys almost look too relaxed. So put your game faces on, get ready, because they came to play today and they want to upset you. Roxy thought that she would come in here and put her flavor of the week against two champions. We're not giving them that satisfaction today. So you're going to go in there, you're going to watch them answer some questions, and you're going to answer 3 of them correctly or however many we need to shut the down.
Ooh, let's rock.
I'll take a peek.
Pretend, Coyote. Let's do it.
You guys are not my flavor of the week. You guys are right now about to take them to Upset City. This is incredible. This is the match that everybody going into looked at you guys as the underdogs, and look what you've done so far. They might look relaxed, but they are shaking right now, because imagine them going out in round 1 of the tournament. I'm pretty sure we saw a belt behind her. So I'm so proud of you guys and what you've been able to do. No movie quoting right now. No goofing off. I know we always have fun, but you guys need to really spend the time right now to communicate and to answer the questions. I love that you're using every second that you have to figure out what the answer is, even when you're sure of what they are. You pick the sexy numbers, Nick. Jacoby, you are playing your heart out right now. Both of you guys are just really, this is incredible to watch, and stay focused, and you guys will take home the W on this one for the Stars.
Thank you, Roxy. Partner, let's do it.
All right, so our competitors are here, and we're going to start out here. It is a tie game, but we are going to start with Chaos Theory. All right, Chaos Theory, you're going to start category 4, the 1990s. Who's taking it?
What do you think, boss?
I think you're playing kind of on fire right now, and I like that knowledge where the 3's at, and I'll take the 1990s because we've both been studying that. If that's okay with you, unless you want to see where we're at.
I'm cool with it. Go ahead.
All right, take. I'll take it. 1990s.
All right, so here you go.
It'll be the deal breaker, fielding a question from the 1990s, a decade you might have been alive in. Here's your question for 2 points and the lead. Who plays William Foster, a middle-aged man dealing with both unemployment and divorce in the film Falling Down?
It is Michael Douglas.
For once, he's not playing a rich guy. Look at that. Good movie. That is correct for 2 points. And so now Christian Deception, no chance with TKO. They got to answer themselves a 2-pointer.
All right, Deception. So you chose
there was no
for your 2-point question. Category 14, that will be Pixar Films. Who's got it?
Pixar!
We've both seen a good share of these. Marisol, what do you think? I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, go for it. Go for Pixar.
All right, Adam Collins going to take it. Mark?
Categories Pixar, and the question to the Coyote to tie the lead of Chaos Theory. In what Pixar film does a dog character say, "I just met you and I love you"?
Up.
Squirrel! Is the correct direction, and it's also a movie featuring a dog saying that line. Christian, we're tied again. We go back to Chaos Theory for their 3-pointer.
All right, Chaos Theory. They chose category 8. And now we're going to go to Nick Harley, who's going to be answering in the realm of biopics, Mark. Biopics.
That's right, Nick. You can say biopics or biopics. I won't judge you, but either way, it's worth 3 points and a 3-point lead. And your question. In the category of biopics, which actor stars as J.R.R. Tolkien in the biopic Tolkien?
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult.
I actually like that movie.
He is. That is correct for 3 points. And so, again, Chaos Theory seizing the lead, and Deception now has a chance to tie.
All right, Marisol McKee, you chose category 11 here. Seemed Deception did. And it's going to land you with horror for your 3-point question.
Scary movies Christian refuses to watch for 3 points. And to tie the lead of Chaos Theory, here's your question. Who directed the 2018 thriller film Unsane?
Five, 4.
Steven Soderbergh.
And he did it with one of these, I think. The whole movie with one of these. That is correct for 3 points. And Christian, it's a tied ball game, and we sound like a broken record. Again, the score is dead even, so now we go back to Chaos Theory. For a 5-pointer, they could possibly take a 5-point lead and ensure themselves at the very worst of sudden death.
They are trading back and forth. And now we get to Chaos Theory, who chose category 16. Category 16, that is the realm of comedy. Comedy. All right. Here it is.
5 points, and you gentlemen may confer for the answer here. Please let us know when it is your final answer.
And if we use all 3, we still get 1 if we go to sudden death.
Yes. You
Just
have.
Not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Just check.
Here's your question. For 5 points and a 5-point lead. Categories comedy. The question, which actress appears in the comedies The Internship, Jexy, and Like a Boss?
Jexy and Like a Boss. Like a Boss has Rose Byrne. It has Salma Hayek.
5.
Repeat.
Yeah.
First one.
The Internship is that Owen
Which
Wilson.
actress appears in the comedies The Internship, Jexy, and Like a Boss?
The Internship is that movie with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn.
Vince
Correct?
Vaughn, yes.
I think Rose Byrne might be in that. And then
Jexy is like the
5.
phone one.
Rose Byrne is in The Internship.
3.
And now that I think about
Repeat the
it,
question.
I think I
Second one.
remember-
All right, you have one remaining. Categories comedy. The question, which actress appears in the comedies The Internship, Jexy, and Like a Boss?
Yeah, Jexy's like an Adam Devine vehicle, I think.
Yeah, it could be Tiffany Haddish as well. Tiffany Haddish, I know, is in Like a Boss.
And yeah.
Ooh, that's-
I think, but the
Five.
love,
that's a
I
great
think,
team work what
I
they're
think
doing
it.
right now.
3.
Repeat the question.
Last one.
I think it is Rose
Final one
Byrne.
in regulation. Which actress appears in the comedies The Internship, Jexy, and Like a Boss?
I don't know if I'm blanking, but I think she's the love interest in The Internship.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's Rose Byrne.
Whew, let's see how this goes. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Rose Byrne, final answer.
That's correct.
Wow.
So they hit it. They hit it. So here's where we stand. Here's where we stand. Chaos Theory has a 5-point lead. If Deception does not hit it, Chaos Theory advances. If they do hit it, going to sudden death. Mark, Deception, they chose category 2. Category 2, and that gives us action, adventure. Action, adventure.
And to be fair, you do watch a lot of these movies, partner. Action adventure for 5 points, and to tie the lead and force sudden death. Once again, Coyote and Lady Justice, you may confer on each and every question that's a 5-pointer in round 3. And here's yours. Menahem Golan directed Sylvester Stallone, Robert Loggia, and David Mendenhall in what 1987 film?
It's nice to hear him say Robert Loggia.
So
The actual
Lockup came
name
around
of-
that time, but that
Yes.
was later. Robert Loggia is not in that. But Robert Loggia is in Over the Top.
5.
Repeat the question.
4. Second one.
All right, categories action adventure. Question. Menahem Golan directed Sylvester Stallone, Robert Loggia, and David
It's
Mendenhall
Menachem
in
Golan. What are you
1987
doing
film.
calling him Menahem?
So got me with the release date
It's
there.
Menachem.
The top is 1987.
Yeah.
And that's an
I'd say
Israeli
it's
name.
Over the Top, final answer.
Did you just see how well deception works together, Christian? That is correct, and we have
Menachem
overtime.
Golan.
Wow. It is
in
sudden
Hebrew.
death, ladies and gentlemen. It is
Come
sudden
on.
death. What a round 1 matchup it is. And so, Mark, now that our 2 teams are in sudden death, how does it go?
Menahem.
Yeah, we just burned 60 minutes of all of our existences, but now we find ourselves in sudden death. And what a match it has been. Congratulations to all 4 participants and your incredible managers as well. But now we find ourselves in sudden death.
Yes.
Here's the rules. It feels a lot like round number 1, except the stakes are so much higher. We're going to ask a question, either Christian or myself. The question's worth 1 point. Once you hear the question, write down your best attempt at an answer. Hopefully you didn't throw away your whiteboards after round number 1, because you need those. You may not rely on your teammates' knowledge for any question in sudden death, just to test a view and what is in between your ears in the realm of cinematic know-how. Again, each question's worth 1 point per participant. So if both competitors of each team get the question correct, we move on to another question. If no one gets it right, we move on to another question. If one of you each get it right, we move on to another question. You see where I'm going with this? But if one of you has 2 or 1 that answer and the other has 1 or 0 that answer, the correct answer-ors will be awarded the match and advance in the Schmoedown Teams Tournament.
Each team has 1 JTE rule, and here we will talk to each manager. So once again, we're going to drop out the team of Deception and bring in Roxy Stryer.
You guys can do this. You can really do this. If this is a repeat of what happened in round 1, we'll take the game right now. And nobody out there is thinking you can do this except for me and the stars, because they know the work that you guys have put in. Let's prove them all wrong. That's what we need to do here. I'm so proud of you guys so far. Block everything else out. Just listen to every context clue you can and answer the question to the best of your ability. Block out Mark, block out Christian, even block out me when you need to. You guys have got this.
All right. You know what? Roxy's not the only one who believes that it was possible for them to be in the space with us, because we know that they came to play, and we know that there's no easy matches in this tournament. There's no such thing. But how exciting is it going to be to shut them out in sudden death? Because now you get to answer more questions.
I love answering questions.
And this is what I need. This is what I need from you. I'm staring at 2 champions. I need you to play every single question like freaking champions, and we're done. If you need a repeat to pull that answer, use it. You only get 1. It doesn't matter who calls for it. If you don't need it, don't waste it. But if you absolutely need it because you know you're going to find yourself to the correct answer, do it. All right?
All right.
Let's freaking win this match. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, Mark. Our competitors are here, and sudden death is about to begin. I will ask the first question here.
That's right. Keep in mind, competitors, we will not be revealing the category the question arises from. We will simply ask the question.
All right. So, Marisol, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Adam, are you ready?
So good.
Nick?
Yes.
And Jacoby?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. First question. Shirley MacLaine starred in what 1996 drama that was a sequel to the Oscar-winning 1983 film Terms of Endearment?
Jacoby's struggling. This could be it.
Corruption, correct. Each team has 1 JTE rule to use, should they need it.
5, 4, 3,
Repeat
2.
the question.
Here it is. Shirley MacLaine starred in what 1996 drama that was a sequel to the Oscar-winning 1983 film Terms of Endearment? That was Chaos Theory's one and only JTE.
Deception still retains theirs. Should we advance?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. Hands up, please. We start with Marisol.
The Evening Star.
Nick.
The Evening Star.
Adam.
The Evening Star.
Jacoby.
Great match, guys. Did not have it.
And your winner!
Advancing to the next round! Deception! What a victory it was, and it was sudden death. Chaos Theory makes them earn it. But Nick, Harley, Marisol, and Adam all get that one correct, and Jacoby comes up short, just a little short at the end, and Deception advances to go on to play King Arthur. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We're going to have, I believe Mark Ellis is going to be doing the interviews here in just a moment. So you can drop me out, and you guys just stick around and talk to Mark. Peace out, me.
Thank you, Christian. Finally, it's just us. Now, what an impressive victory that was. And I got to start with this. We do have a very big match for one of you coming up, or actually all of you, on Saturday night, but we're not there yet. Where we are is y'all just played a sudden death match. So you get by with the skin of your teeth in round 1, starting with you, Coyote, and then we'll go around the horn. Did you think you were going to be pushed that much so early in the tournament?
I have only myself to blame, Mr. Ellis. I left too many points on the table in round 1, or this would have been over in regulation. I know what I need to work on in the next match because I'm not gonna drop that low again. But I had the champion on my side. That's why we won.
Champ, you feel the same way? Were you maybe overlooking Chaos Theory just a little bit because of all of the new belts and defending that belt in a mere matter of days?
I mean, the belt is pretty shiny and it's pretty blinding. All right,
Shiny?
but it did not distract me. I never underestimate my opponents, and I know that my queen and my coyote are the same way. We never underestimate them. We just prepare for all scenarios, and that's why we're never surprised, and that's why we play all the way through to the end. You're never going to catch us caught off guard or struggling, and we're going to follow through all the way to the very end. And it ain't over till it's over, and we made sure that we finished this game, no matter what happened in it.
You are the queen, Shannon, but now they face King Arthur in the next round of this here tournament. It's composed of Griffin Newman's Downtown, Griffey Nooms, and King Khan. What do you make of that squad, and how do you go into that tournament setting against that opponent?
I mean, what is a king without a queen? They're absolutely nothing. Look, they're a new team. I'm sure they're going to be fantastic. We got to go back and do a little work.
Alice in Wonderland.
Because, granted, it didn't take much overtime to shut these people out. We had to do it, and we're prepared to do it. That's what we train for. We never ever rest on 3 rounds and it's done, because everyone's coming for us. Everyone wants a piece of what we have, and I don't blame them. They should, because we're incredible. Adam is incredible. Marisol is incredible. The entire faction of corruption is ridiculous this season. We're doing so great, and our only mission is to continue trending upward. So we do have work to do. We got to get a little bit better, because King Arthur is not going to give us as much wiggle room as Chaos Theory did. Now, that was a crazy round 1, and you can tell because we came out of it dead even. So those were not give me questions. I knew that Chaos Theory would not hand us a victory, and if they're not going to hand it to us, we're going to go in there and we're going to take it, and that's what we did in Sudden Death.
So Deception flying side by side, but now you splinter off for some very enticing singles matches. Start with you, Coyote. You're taking on the Kid tomorrow. How do you feel about that matchup? It's you versus the Kid. You two have both paved your way in this league very nicely, and I would say it's arguable you're already legends of the game.
Well, so are you, Mark. And for what it's worth, this was a great warm-up. Again, came in, got caught off guard by a couple of those round 1 questions, all the credits to the writers. But at the same time, I also, we won in Sudden Death, just like I beat Brendan last time. The difference is this time he and I aren't going to go to Sudden Death. I gave up my 3-pointer last year. That's on me. This time, he and I are both coming in prepared. And, I don't think people are going to be disappointed. But yeah, this match definitely got me tuned in.
Going to be a lot of fireworks and a nice opening act for Saturday night's main event, which features you, Marisol Lady Justice, in case you weren't made aware. You're playing Chance the Cobra Ellison. Yes, you, and you both happen to be members of the same faction. So how are you feeling going into Saturday night? You've been in a live setting before with fans in the studio audience, but this is New York. This is a packed theater. How do you feel on the eve almost of your big matchup?
I'm ready to get back up off this couch and get out there in front of some people and win a match. That's how I'm feeling.
Shannon, I got to ask you the same thing. I mean, again, this is corruption on corruption crime here. So do we think that how does the training differ? Is everybody splintered off into their own mini factions in corruption? Is it Mike quizzing Chance? Is it Adam quizzing Marisol? How does this work within its own faction?
Listen, I'm not telling you that. Because it doesn't matter. All that matters is one of my players is going to either win or retain this belt. We're getting more points on the board. All I will say is that we're not doing a Hawaiian vacation this time around. This is not a luau. This is going to be a match.
Yeah,
it's going to be a match for the ages. And both of my players are ready to show up and show out and give you guys a match of their lives.
Somebody does have to lose that match. Who do you hug first after the match? Do you hug the loser or the victor?
There's not many people I'm willing to hug, but I think that we'll probably do like a group hug. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, that's
maybe I get
less hugging for you, so yeah.
Absolutely not.
Didn't think I would. I'm not making anybody forget about Jennifer Sturger, Steph Sabra, or Jilly Marie just yet. Thank you. Congratulations on a big W. We'll see you soon in singles, in live settings, and in the team's tournament against King Arthur.
Welcome back, me. So look, here's the thing.
Welcome back, me.
Corruption is playing to steal a former faction mate's moniker, Lights Out, right now. They are really, really doing well. They have the champion. They have the Inner Geekdom champion. They have, look, Shannon looked like she made the right play here. Deception. They win the first match in the tournament, so putting Deception in there seemed to be the right call. So she puts in Deception. They win the match. They get 3 more points. Looking good. Shannon Barney, the queen, earning that name right now.
Yeah, and we've seen that in tournaments past in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. Heck, we see it every year in a young NFL season where there's just that feeling out process to start a season or a tournament where it may not be the most convincing victory, but a W is a W nonetheless. Deception proving that today against Chaos Theory.
Yeah, but this one was just a pure fight, scrap from both teams.
It was a rumble, Christian.
It was absolutely a rumble, and I'm sure you'll be talking to a team. I don't even necessarily even call them the losers here today from the way that they played. Such a young team, in the fact this is their second match, and they took Deception to the wire, and that, of course, is the team of Jacoby Bancroft and Nick Harley with their manager, Roxy Stryer. Mark, take it away.
They really don't pay me enough. Hello, gentlemen, and Roxy. It was a tough loss, and you got to be kicking yourselves, not because you didn't play well, but just because you always want to get that W. But let me start with you, Harley, and then I'll go down to you, Mr. Bancroft. Is there a level of moral victory that you're going to take from this match so you can stand toe-to-toe with any team in this league?
I mean, moral victories don't get us into the second round of the tournament. We want real, actual victories. So while I think we're pretty happy about how we played, I think we maybe want a few back in round 1. And I think otherwise we played a pretty complete match. And there's nothing really to be ashamed about. But we got to get back in the lab and keep crunching, because next time we see a team like Deception, you know that we're going to be there for the W.
Absolutely, it's tough to come down to the wire like this. You know, it stings. Of course, it does. Want it to continue on, but I can't take away from the way that we played. I think we played it really well, and it was just an honor and a privilege to play with this partner here, with this guy here who just kicked butt. It showed why he was the FCL champion. And it was just a blast to play over all these guys who we knew were going to bring it. All of our scenarios, we were just like, okay, we might be super behind in round 1. We might be super behind in round 2. And guess what? That didn't happen. We kept up the whole time and just came down to that one question at the end.
Sorry.
That's how it goes, right?
Yeah, Roxy, given the football team you've had the luxury of enjoying for the last couple decades, you don't even know what a moral victory is, but you got to be proud of Slick Nick and the Deal Breaker here today. They played their hearts out for you.
What a match. I'm so proud of these guys. I mean,
it was a great match.
It's no
mostly tied the entire way
the Stars have had some turmoil and some major things that we've had to overcome this year with our team that we were in the team's tournament with last year, both of our players retiring. And so to not only go from that to then having to rearrange teams, to pulling Jacoby from his teammate, to pulling Nick from the FCL, to merging them into a team, for us to have had as much back and forth as we did, and for Nick and Jacoby to just stay focused the entire time, do whatever it took to be a team player, to work with each other every single day, and have mock matches, nonstop quizzing of each other, support for one another the way that they did. I am so proud. I'm not surprised how far they got, because I knew the hours that they were putting in, but I'm just so proud of them. And the one time that I'll agree with Shannon is that she's right. She's got work to do, because this was round 1, and this was our second match together as a team, and they have been together for a long time now, and we look dead even today. So she's right. She's got work to put in, and we do too, but we're new, and I'm feeling really good about them. What a match.
It has been a rough go, just in terms of Lady Luck here this year for you, just because of what you said. You had some retirements, you had Alex Damon losing the belt, so it's been sort of a patchwork job for you this year. But now it seems like you have found a new team to champion with these two. In your mind, Roxy, how far can these two fellas go if they remain a team next season?
I think they complement each other incredibly well. So I think that with the work ethic, which seems to be the number one most important part of this, they both have that to an extreme extent. I am I can't even elaborate enough on the amount of back and forth between them and what they're having to do to get ahead right now, and studying and everything that they're doing individually and then as a team. So, Mark, I definitely could see this team with belts around them for sure. It took the odd couple a minute to get there as well. And sometimes the great teams, it takes a second. And this is both of their rookie years. That's nuts, Mark. It's nuts.
It is nuts. And Nick and Jacoby, I got to ask y'all, how did it feel to be on the receiving end of a classic Roxy Stryer, manager of the year level pep talk there going into round 3 and sudden death? That must have felt like, hey, we're really in this ball game. We're playing in the big leagues now.
Absolutely. Those pep talks I just think are the best. They always keep us focused. They keep us, in the game and keep us ready to go. Roxy is so good at that, of just keeping us in the game. And that sounds like such a simple thing to say, like keep me in the game. And that sounds like it's easy to do, but it's not. And Roxy is the master of that. So I just thank Roxy, for everything that she's done for us as a manager. And it was awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't have asked to work with a better manager that fights for us, that always calms us down when we need it. As you can see, Jacoby and I kind of have like a Spider-Man tendency to be a little chatty when we get in fights, but Roxy keeps us focused, and she's without a doubt the most dedicated manager in the Schmoedown. So happy to fight for her anytime.
As most of her competitors are, sexy numbers or not. Jacoby, final question to you that's very self-serving. You saw me in Vegas a couple weeks ago. Do I need to tweak anything before I go on stage in a couple hours, or is the set good to go?
Answer carefully. It's a trap. It's a setup. Answer carefully.
It was perfect. It was great. I'm still laughing about your nap bits. About that part was great. I love that.
No spoilers, Jacoby.
No, I didn't give the punchline away. Oh, hey, I see what you did there.
We all know he likes to nap,
Very well played match, you two. And Roxy, great managing as always. Came up on the short end today, but you won a lot of hearts. Congratulations on a hard-fought match. Somebody who wants to use trickery and tomfoolery. Again, I said at the top of the show, Christian, deception, they really can't get around that anymore because of all the belts and all of the wins, and another clutch, sudden death, pressure-packed performance here. They get the win over a very game Chaos Theory, and they will be advancing in the team's tournament. So much going on in corruption right now. There's a lot to look forward to if you are in that faction.
Hell yeah. I mean, look at what they've been doing, and look at the fact that Deception has both Marisol McKee and Adam Collins. Look what Adam Collins did last year and the way that he's played. And he even said it looks like this match might have woken him up a little bit, right? Because that fire that was there last year, and I told him this as much too. I didn't see that. Saw it in this match. Even though he missed a couple in that first round, it seemed like he really started to move in rounds 2 and 3, and the champion has showed exactly why she was the champion, because same thing with her. She missed a few, very similar to what happened with her and Ethan Irwin. She missed a few. She never got inside of her head and said, oh man, this is over. She bounced right back, and they just cleared out round 2. They had an amazing round 3, and then they ultimately won it in sudden death. Now, as Shannon and Roxy have both said, they need to deliver this against King Khan. I mean, King Arthur.
King Arthur.
Now they have to, because those two guys,
they will be
talking about
King
two
Khan
rookies that are playing phenomenally. It's those two, Griffin Newman, who we will also see this Saturday night going up against Josh Harwitz in the undercard. But they are two rookies that are really, really, really solid. They have to get it done, and if they do, they're going to see themselves in the finals.
It's almost like anyone who's anyone should see if there's 1 or 2 more tickets available for that Brooklyn live event that we are going to be attending this Saturday night. You can get your tickets at theschmoedownlive.com. In the meantime, you got some stand-up if you're in the city. East Village is the location. New York Comedy Club is the place. I'll be performing. Christian's going to pop into tonight's show. Might be on the lineup for tomorrow's show. I don't know. You got to check. You can get tickets at markellis.live. Going to be a whole lot of fun. As always, I am Baby Carrots, and that is Beaver Nuggets.
Beaver Nuggets. Okay, so first of all, great match played on both ends of the spectrum, both Deception and Chaos Theory. Just like I said, they were tied practically the entire way through. Like, Deception misses a couple, so does Chaos Theory. Then Deception gets the lead back. The Chaos Theory manages to also narrow the gap. They end up tied at the end of round 1, tied at the end of round 2, with an opponent's choice on one side, and it just, they kept on going tied till the end of round 3, when they won by sudden death. You could not have asked for a better match between these two teams, and I'm so happy that I got to witness that. I myself personally only answered 7 questions, but I mean, it's not like I was ever going to answer more than, 7 questions at a match like this. I did have some technical difficulties, some phones from work that I needed to respond to right away, so I apologize for that. But I did keep my head in the game the entire way through, and I did answer some questions that I knew of, so I wasn't completely 100% distracted by my phone. I can do 2 things at once. It's just answering questions to questions I don't know the answers to is not one of them, but when I do know the answer, I immediately pull out the answers that I know. So that's really all I can say. Anyways, tough year for the Stars. I mentioned that earlier in this very video, I believe. But yeah, all we can do right now is just sit back and look forward to hopefully a much better year for all of us, but also the Stars as a faction, if they are still a faction by this time next year. I don't know. It's tough to, difficult to see. Always in motion the future is. But Corruption's playing great this season, and I do happen to know that they won the faction championships again. But I mean, that's still a long ways off. Anyways, so that's really all I can say about this match. I gotta go to work right now, as you may have noticed by me constantly answering my phone. So I'll see you some other time when I get the chance to watch Schmoedown stuff. Goodbye. Hi there. Thank you for watching the video. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends. I'll see you next time.